Yeah, you know what though? I mean, here we are now. Andy Cohen is saying, "Oh, trust me, just watch the new season of Beverly Hills, and it will all make sense between Mauricio and Kyle." Now we
Oh, all
have
right.
the Summer House boys. We have Craig, who's dating Paige, who's like, "Oh, just wait, just watch Summer House. It'll all make sense with Carl." And yeah, there are these rumors that they question Carl about his sexuality again. I don't know. Listen to my chat with Steven. I'm not outing anyone. I'm not.
I love a good gay rumor. So wait, but does Steven go into detail? Like, I guess I need to listen to this, right? Like Steven really.
He implies that he kind of implied that like him and Carl did God knows what. So I don't know about all this. By the
Well,
way,
I
just so
mean,
you know, with Hugh Jackman, my buddy who I lived with at that time,
yeah, is Hugh
all
Jackman gay?
well, all that, those are always rumors. Yeah. And those are even now I saw an article the other day that people are like, blah, 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 blah. So I don't know. I don't
I
buy
could
it.
see
I don't
that.
buy it with Carl. I don't buy it with Hugh.
You don't
Uh,
buy the gay rumors? Okay.
no.
I
Um,
do. I feel
that's just me.
sexuality. People are so open now and so fluid. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I mean, come on. And I don't know, I guess sexuality is a spectrum, but I mean, really, are you going to get a blowjob from a woman at this point in your life, David? Like, of course not. Like, if some woman started blowing you, you'd be like, ew. Like, I mean, come on. Like, I mean, there's no
I
way.
I would be. I do have a story from even a few years ago, which we're not going to get into at this point. But you know what? I don't have a problem with.
What? Tell
I
me.
mean, yes, that would gross me out. I don't have a problem with like, listen, the poor straight guys that need a little help. Hello, that I don't have a problem with.
I
Sometimes the
know, I
straight
know.
guys, they sometimes listen, they just need a little help.
He was, I mean, I will say when he got the blowjob from the guy and then he confessed, I mean, he was heavy in his drinking, drugging days. So, you do a lot when you're in that phase, that you wouldn't normally do sober. So it's not like that's like all that uncommon for somebody that's really using. So
I just want to know what the hell is going on.
I know. True. Okay. But you teased about Beverly Hills. I have so much to say. Again, I feel beyond queer baited. But then I'm also confused about this story because another eyewitness, and page 6 usually gets things pretty correct. They claim sources that Kyle and Morgan Wade were in Paris and were like so cuddly. And this goes to that guy that used to work for Bravo that saw them in Aspen. And he was like, oh, 100% they were together, like
What
as a
guy that used
couple.
to work for Bravo?
Who's the guy? Remember, he put out a video. He used to be on a show. I thought it was not Summer House, not Winter House, but
Yes.
didn't they do like another house?
Après Ski House. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes. Is
he
that
was on
it?
that.
I think I know exactly. Yeah. Okay. I remember seeing this.
He did a series of videos from a weekend where Morgan Wade and Kyle were in Aspen. And he was like, oh, honey, these two are so together. They're so lovely together. They're completely hooking up. Then they came out and said they weren't. Now we hear sources saying in Paris, they were at a table. They chose to sit next to each other when they could have sat across from each other. They were canoodling, leaning in. Mauricio is on Dancing with the Stars. Hello, queer baited. I mean, come on. This like raised their profile so much. But then I'm like, I'm lost on this story because people sort of see them out and say they're together. So I don't know, right?
I have no on Patreon. I'm going to be doing a bunch of solo stuff on Patreon coming up. I'm going to reveal some things from another housewife that I know. Only listen, I got to save shit for Patreon. That's the whole point of it. But I feel that like yeah, like at this point, it hasn't helped with the publicity. Totally. Do I think Kyle and Mauricio are experts at the game after growing up and living in Beverly Hills and LA forever? Yes. I mean, they're always together. Why are you at Paris Fashion Week? I mean, and then it's like Kyle has her Birkin and she's with Bruce Bozzi and everyone's there with like the head of Hermes and they're all dressed in nines. And Kyle gets that Morgan Wade right in that picture with the jeans and the crop top. I mean, Morgan is authentically herself, but look, you're in Paris. What are you bringing your friend? So I don't know. I tend to, but like, I believe this is publicity, but I believe it's not. I think this is real. Look, I don't know if this is forever, but I mean real in that, like, yeah, they're fucking. They're fucking. Kyle is with her. Yes,
It's
that's what
so
I believe.
fascinating. I mean, that's what everybody that sees them together says. I mean, I guess the flip side of this is Mo and Kyle are experts. You know, I mean, look, arrangements are made all the time in Hollywood, all the time. People that are couples really are set up by publicists to get more publicity. I mean, you know, maybe Kyle, they really struck up a friendship, she and Morgan. And then she's like, look, I do genuinely want it. Maybe, you know, maybe Kyle was a little into her and they, you know, she's like, hey, do you want to play this up for publicity? It's good for your career. It's good for, I mean, you know, maybe they are doing that. I could see Kyle and Mo using Morgan and then in another year or two, like them all having a falling out and like Mo and Kyle are still ride or die. I don't know. But it does. I do agree with you. It does seem like, I mean, I think eyewitness after eyewitness, it's like,
It's official, right? Kyle and Morgan, it's official. I mean, should David and Sarah just call it now? Like
yes,
it's, but
yes.
then they're doing press and they're saying it's Kyle and Morgan kind of said it's not official. Mauricio coming out of Dancing with the Stars, it was so cringy that one video, but his one thing is like, all I can tell you is we're both happy. So I mean, that tells us nothing, dude. That tells us nothing. Listen, I've talked about this before. There are rumors out there about Mauricio too. Here we go again. There are rumors about him too with men. So I don't know. I am not one of those gays that thinks everyone in the world is gay, you know?
I was thinking that my gunkles were
No,
always those
no.
gays. Like
I'm
they
I'm the
always let
opposite.
everybody.
I'm the opposite. Like,
Mm.
but I mean, yeah, I don't know. This is let's just make it official, you know? Um, what else? Do we have time to talk about this? Maybe not. This is a big
Oh, I was
topic.
going to say, should we stay on? Okay, what do
Oh,
you?
no.
Well, I just thought we ought to wrap
Talk.
up and talk more Beverly Hills because, you know, this week you saw a lot of people reporting on Tom Girardi's competency
Oh,
hearing, which is still going on, you know. So that is still happening. There hasn't been a ruling. People have all kinds of theories on this too. You know, and a
what?
lot of times the internet is so full of shit. So it's like you really can't believe it. Well, a lot of people are saying what, you know, why wasn't Erika called to talk about the competency of Tom Girardi? Because they asked different witnesses, people in his circle, right? So the dementia home, you know, good friends. Why wasn't she called? Well, they are divorced. I mean, and people said, well, she should want to speak. She should be doing everything to talk about how incompetent he is. And I'm like, guys, he's not incompetent. That's why she doesn't want to be called as a witness because
Doesn't
we
want
saw
to lie.
exactly two T's in a pod. That podcast was called up, the episode with Erika Jane, because Erika says in that episode, Tom called me to wish me good luck in Vegas. Honey, he's perfectly competent. Maybe not perfectly, but
I
he's
am so